What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with another video. This video is going to be on the bullish case for Bitcoin and an update on Bitcoin. I did not end up releasing a video yesterday. Instead, I did an hour-long live stream with a number of people and on 6FIG stock traders with his YouTube channel last night. So I did that instead of releasing a video, but now I am releasing this video midday for you, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin and some bullish cases and what's going on in the market. So follow me on Twitter here, 485 followers so far. Follow me on Twitter and click subscribe, smash the like button. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin is still doing everything that we need it to do for continuation on. The bull run has just been kind of put on hold. We're still in a bull market, but as far as the bull run, it's just been put on hold a little bit, but I still believe it is coming, just like we thought was going to happen possibly in November and December. That's still coming. So Bitcoin's still doing everything that we want it to for continuation up. We have this corrective phase in a bull market, and I believe we are doing the exact same thing right now, this corrective phase in this bull market. And if you saw my video the other day, we copied the bars pattern. So we basically we were doing it to the effect that you came up, you found a top, you rolled down, you did an ABC correction, but you had these wicks, you had this wick, you fell through this falling wedge here, and then so you were falling through that falling wedge, you had a wick, you had a wick, you had a wick, and then you finally found the floor for continuation on. And I'm seeing that as very similar right now because you have this wick, you have this here, and you have this same falling wedge. It's a little rough here where you came out of the wedge, went back into it, and that bottom. So what I did was, having said that, what I did was I took this bars pattern here and copied it roughly in this range here, and measured it out to here, and then we extrapolate that out and we set it like so. And I could really see this happening. It's a good possibility that this does happen. Something similar to this. It doesn't have to happen exactly like this. It actually doesn't have to roll back down and find this bottom for continuation. It might be able to come and find it in this range, but at some point it finds that bottom, it finds that momentum reversal, and it starts heading back up. But very similar pattern, and finding that floor. You can see that this is a little bit lower than this here, but we have done that pattern in the past where Bitcoin does fall and that dominance falls, and then it has that leg up. So I'm actually looking at this as a contrarian, with a contrarian viewpoint, that if Bitcoin does come back up to this 46 range, which is that next range of possible resistance here, because it's acted as such support through here, but that 46,000 range, and I can also turn on, if I turn on the visible range here, the visible range, the VPVR, I'd have to change some settings, but you can see this peak here. These aren't the normal settings for my VPVR, but you can see this peak here that could act as resistance. So even if you do come up, hit that resistance in that 46,000 range, and you roll down a little bit here, to get that momentum, to get that bottom, that would be okay. We've done that before, and then we continue on, and this can scare a lot of people. So that's the way I'm seeing it. What we do not want in the future is to have this pattern that kind of humps out like this, and it ends up looking just like this over here, because that could potentially be a head and shoulders. I do not foresee that right now. I just think that we're in an accumulation box here, a Wyckoff accumulation box, and you could come up, come back down, you're in this box, and when you find that support, you would be moving on. I'm also going to show you some stuff from Glassnode here in a second. Click subscribe down here in the bottom right hand corner. If you can see my logo, click my logo down here in the bottom right hand corner, or just click subscribe below like normal. Please smash up the like button, leave a comment below. Let's take a look here. So Tech Dev, I'm still in agreement with what Tech Dev has pinned on Twitter here, where you go green, red, green, and then yellow, where we are currently in this red box. And basically, if you look in the past, when you find you get rejected you can get rejected here on the 1618, but at some point you find support on the 1272, and then you come into this last green box and have that blow off top. So you find support here in this box on the 1272, you find support at some point, and you come up when you break the 1618, whether you back test it or not. After you break the 1618, you come into that last green box for that blow off top, and look where we are currently right now, using that say if history repeats or somewhat rhymes. Here we've gotten rejected by the 1618, or roughly the 1618, twice now, and we are coming back down. Maybe we need to find support on the 1272, which is roughly around that 40,000 range, that $40,000, or even maybe just a hair lower, but find support in this box somewhere, in the accumulation box I just drew on the chart above the 1272. You already found support on it here. So, and that would have been in July. So this is a macro view, pretty zoomed out here. This is the whole history of Bitcoin. So you find some support here at that 40,000 range, like I just showed you with the bars pattern. You start moving up, you break the 1618, and then boom, you move up to that 100,000, possibly 200,000, up to possibly 240, 250,000. And I've shown that in older videos. There could be a lot of FOMO and a lot of money flowing in later this year, possibly. And that could all happen. That could all happen this year, and no, that is not hopium. That could all happen in 2022 to those crazy high prices for Bitcoin. What happens then is that people take profits and they sell off Bitcoin. They rotate profits into various altcoins, and you have that altcoin mania season later. I do believe Bitcoin is still going over $100,000 in 2022. It is going over $100,000. You get up to this 1618. You find that support above 40,000, you come into this green box, and you start to make that major run up towards 100,000. So that is my view on that. Miles J. Creative on Twitter, he said yesterday, Bitcoin shorts are dominant. It appears the narrative of the bear market being upon us has taken a hold of many, as it did in July, basically just explaining that fear in July when Bitcoin was down to 28, that people thought it was going to 20,000 or even 10,000, which was pretty crazy to me. But it was actually a corrective phase of the bull market, as I believe we are in now. So it is messing with some people's heads that there's a lot of people trying to short Bitcoin. They're betting on the fact that Bitcoin is going to go down. I believe the opposite. So if shorts are dominant, if that is correct, that's great to me, because I like to be contrarian on everything. And if there's a lot of people trying to short it, well, I believe that's a bullish sign, because that's just a contrarian mindset there. The question is, does this accumulation end with a massive short squeeze, as was the case last time? And I believe yes, at some point. I just don't know when. I'm not predicting time. We do a little bit of price predictions with the fibs, but yes, I believe it will. And then this is interesting too on Glassnode. This is very interesting. I wish I would have shown this maybe earlier in the video, but it is what it is. Had to refresh there. Okay, so this is very interesting. This is the MVRV Z-score here, and you can actually, if you want to pause the video, you can actually read a description here if you want. But it is basically what it is it assesses if when Bitcoin is overvalued or undervalued relative to its fair value. And we have this red range that typically, this red zone typically shows a market top, and the green zone typically a market bottom. So this is the last major bull run, the end of 2017 here, early 2018 into 2017 for Bitcoin. And you can see this orange. The orange is the MVRV score. The white is the Bitcoin price. You can see the MVRV score shot not only into the red zone, shot straight through it and came all the way up here and, tapped the price. Not that that means anything, but it is way up here in the sky, is my point, way past the red zone. And that was that blow off top for Bitcoin. So what's crazy to me here is here in February 2021, when Bitcoin was at 56,000, its MVRV score was in this red zone. It came down, it came back up, but this is March. This is in that area where we were reaching for that 61, 64,000 in here, and we tapped the red and we were around the red, okay, which signifies a somewhat of a market top at the time. And then we went through this corrective A, B, C. But this is where it gets really interesting to me is right here. Look how low this MVRV score is right here. This is October. The MVRV score 3.91. And this is in that range of 65 to 69,000, where we just hit 69,000 in October. But look how low this point is. Nowhere near the red zone, nowhere near all the way through it. To call that 69 the top for this cycle, I believe is just wrong. I believe the bull run is just delayed at this point. It is just delayed, and it's still going to happen where possibly this orange, we'll get this orange to spike way up, at least into the red zone again, or way through it for that blow-off top moment for Bitcoin when it goes well over $100,000. So it's just very interesting that right now, our MVRV score right now, as of January 9th, is 1.38, which is super low at 41,910 on January 9th. And as you can see, this orange, this MVRV score is much closer to green, a bottom, than the red, which is a top. So that is very interesting. And this is like I said, this is something that Dylan LeClaire from Bitcoin Magazine, this is one of the charts he likes to look at on Glassnode here. So typically when you see this bottom, if you look up at the cursor, look above, you know, it's when you hit this green, you're at $4,000 Bitcoin in January 2019. And as you can see up here, it went on for a massive run, and then another scoop here and another run when you look at the macro time frame. So we're pretty low here. We're not to the green yet, but we're pretty low. And this 69 didn't do a whole lot to the MVRV score. If you want to actually read down here, it's actually the market cap minus the realized cap divided by the standard deviation of the market cap. So it's kind of an interesting formula. Yeah, I think this is another bullish piece to the entire puzzle for Bitcoin. It's a piece of the puzzle that adds to the bullish case for Bitcoin for continuation on. It's just a waiting game at this point, and that is what I am doing with my bags, with all of my crypto, is that I am just waiting because not much moves without Bitcoin and Ethereum moving. So right now it's just a waiting game. But anyways, I wanted to share those things with you guys. A couple bullish cases for you for Bitcoin. It's still doing everything that it needs to do. It has not lost. Let's see. Let's remove all drawings. It has not lost its low. It has not started creating lower lows. It's held that low. It's held this area, and it is a corrective phase of something like an A, B, C. Just like we did through here, through July this summer. It is a corrective phase of the bull market, and it's been delayed, and the bulls have just been tranquilized for a little bit here. But we're looking to find that support and carry on movement, carried on. I'll do one more thing, and then that's the end of this video. If we set the fib on this pattern, our lows right now and our previous high at that 69,000. So let's zoom in a little bit here, and let's look at a target. If we get some momentum, our next target for Bitcoin, set that here. So to me, this fib in the 1618 is so extremely accurate at times. A target, you get some momentum. You got $97,000 on the 1618, and that is just off this pattern here, that 69 at 1, and then the 0 at this 40,000, 97 on the 1618. If the bull run resumes and the bull market resumes, it's safe to say that we should be heading towards that 100,000 either way on this pattern. So we will see what happens with that. Let's remove all drawings just for curiosity here. Let's run the fib off this here. Set it here, set it there. And that has the 1618 at that $106,000, $107,000 range off this pattern too. So you have two of these patterns kind of working together, corrective phases of the bull market that we are still in. I do believe until you lose these lows and start creating lower lows, come up and start creating lower highs, you are in a bull market, and Bitcoin's doing everything we need for continuation on, holding a lot of nice strength. Hopefully it does something like the bars pattern, and we can get this show back on the road. That's it for this video, guys. Like, subscribe, smash up the like button. Helps the algorithm, helps get these videos out. I'm trying to grow the channel, so that would help a lot. So thank you, and we will see you in the next video. See ya.